Everybody, welcome back to Wicked Sports. This is At the Buzzard. I'm joined as always by Jack Tiernan. Jack, how you doing?
And I'm good, thanks. It's been a bit of a hiatus for us, but we're getting back on the basketball grind now.
Yes, basketball season is upon us. For anyone who's been watching, we've been talking about Saints. So if you're interested in the Saints, go check out our previous videos on them. But today we're talking about the Celtics. Is that correct?
That's incredibly correct, and I'm pumped about it. Super pumped about it.
Yeah, so obviously last time we talked, we said that they had a little bit of a COVID scare. Fortunately, that's mostly passed.
Yeah, mostly. The only guy who is up in the air right now because of that is Al Horford, which
Mm,
I don't know if he was going to start opening night anyway.
right.
And I think that makes it a lot easier on Udoka just to start Time Lord, right? And I
Mm.
think that's probably where we're at.
All right. Well, hey, that's good to hear. Hopefully, all will be good for Alpha Horford. And yeah, I guess what's going on? We're headed into the season. What's the roster looking like?
Yeah, so I mean, with the COVID scare, that was a little bit of a big question mark.
Mm-hmm.
So Jalen Brown got it initially; he got the positive test, and then Al Horford got the positive test. I think Jalen's been quarantined long enough where he's good to go tomorrow night,
Mm-hmm.
or I guess tonight, if depending on when you're watching this, against the Knicks. But I mean, I think overall the roster looks pretty much as expected. Brad, obviously moving to that front office role, kind of knows what everybody was doing, where they fit, where
Mm-hmm.
he could cut the dead cap space, and he did in like trading Tristan Thompson and getting essentially the same player back in Ennis Cantor.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I mean, we got. I'm not going to do a position by position breakdown, but like I'm feeling really good about the forwards as always. Celtics cut and then re-signed today Jabari Parker,
Okay.
who got a lot of minutes in that last preseason finale.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really good to see him back because I thought he played really well. Even though his game is mostly just ISO step back ball, but that's
Mm-hmm.
whatever. It's fine as long as he can be a perimeter threat. Fine by me. I think Grant Williams also is a candidate to be the kind of a make or break season for him because he had a sophomore slump last year. His shooting
Mm-hmm.
was not great. I think he's a good defensive presence and he can kind of be all over the court really as like his versatility stands.
Mm-hmm.
He said earlier in the preseason he wanted to be like a baby Al Horford, which I loved. And if he can do that and like be a facilitator like Al, then I'm all for it.
Right.
Especially with him and Al on the court at the same time, that would be sweet.
Mm-hmm. No, definitely would be good there. Any surprises going into the season? Anything you didn't expect other than COVID? Obviously, couldn't
Of
see
course.
that coming.
No, I mean you can and you can't, right? You
Mm-hmm.
have to hope that if it hits anybody, maybe it's like the lesser
Mm-hmm.
players, like end of bench guys. But you don't sit here going, oh, I bet Jalen Brown and Al Horford are gonna get COVID, which
Right.
obviously sucks. But I guess we'll see if there are any lingering side effects from that, both from like a physicality standpoint for both of them, as
Mm-hmm.
well as from a chemistry standpoint for the team. Because you wonder, like, did Jalen missing the last 2 weeks, like, is that going to affect how they play opening night
Mm-hmm.
against old friend Kemba Walker and the Knicks?
Right.
Uh, it's gonna be weird. So I guess we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, hey, and at least no Celtics have been thrown out of practice for not participating in any drills. That's good.
No, everybody who doesn't want to be here isn't here right now, which is
Mm-hmm.
nice. And old friend Doc Rivers also is not throwing anybody out of practice for us, luckily.
Yeah, no, he certainly has his hand full in Philadelphia with Ben Simmons. We'll be very interested to see how that goes. Obviously, as Celtics fans, hope it goes on for as long as possible. Hope it just disrupts everything in the organization for the 76ers. And yeah, we just keep on keeping on.
And I hope so too. I saw somewhere today that Ben Simmons has missed 1.6 million, which to him maybe not that much, but like
Mm,
when we hear that number as casual fans, it's like, oh my god, dude,
I know.
like that's how much of a payout he's missed just by like essentially being a little bitch. So it's kind of wild.
Definitely. Oh man. So, any predictions for this first game against our old friend, as you said, Kemba Walker and the Knicks?
I think this is kind of like poor man's Lakers, honestly. The
Mm,
Knicks are right now. You've got a bunch of old, kind of raggedy stars.
mm,
Kemba Walker, who's definitely beat down. He's in his mid 30s now. D Rose, who obviously has never been the same since the injury.
yeah. The
Thinking
ultimate
Nerlens,
what could
Nerlens
have
Noel.
been. Yeah.
The ultimate could have been right. He had his rookie year MVP season in the same year, and then
Mm.
the injury killed him. It sucks.
Yeah, it sucks. It's a tough one to watch. I'm just kind of glad he hung around. Like
Yeah.
I thought, like, oh man, this could be bad. Anybody in that position to go from like the highest level to like struck down by like a freak injury, I could see that taking a toll on anyone. So you know what? Big respect for Derrick Rose for not having a complete mental breakdown, as I'm sure I would have had.
Oh, absolutely. I'd be sobbing in my hotel room every night. That would not be fun. I won't lie to you.
Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, sorry I interrupted your
I think
breakdown of the Knicks.
that's an appropriate tangent. All I was gonna say is that essentially it's like poor man's Lakers, right? You got a bunch of old dudes who were good at one point and now kind of are like in the twilight of their career, and like RJ Barrett, and then we'll see what happens, I guess. So
Yeah, hey, they're coming off a playoff appearance, Jack.
Oh, you're right. Maybe I'm sleeping on them. They were a higher seed than us last year, but I mean, the irony is now they have Kemba, so it's like, okay, where like I guess it's kind of up in the air. Let's see who takes what here. I don't think they. Oh, I guess Julius Randle is somebody I forget about a lot, and if he can keep up what he did last year, I'll give them credit for that. Maybe they will make the playoffs again. I think the East is pretty wide open, frankly. So it depends on how they do.
That's fair.
Especially with the Nets, man. Like, who knows what Kyrie's doing?
Not playing. That's all I know.
That's true. That's about, I think, what everybody knows, including Kyrie.
On Instagram Live, I'm sure, as we're talking about this.
I'm certain he is, and I'm sure Steve Nash is blocking him as we speak.
Oh, man. All right, Jack, anything else you want to add before we get on out of here for this episode?
No, I mean, I don't know, man. I want to drop Celtics predictions for, like, season finishes, but I also don't want to bind myself to that if something goes terribly wrong. So
it's hard with the NBA. It's so long this season.
It is. Like, I could say, like, yeah, probably a playoff appearance, but I don't think it'll be a very high seed. Maybe, like, I think ceiling is probably, like, third seed, and then I think floor is I mean, obviously missed the playoffs, but I think the floor is a lot lower than the ceiling.
Yeah. Kind of a rebuilding, reassess where we're at type of year.
Right.
Unfortunately, hopefully we'll get it all together and we'll be challenging for a championship soon. But hey, at least we have the Red Sox right now in Boston.
That's true.
I don't want to jinx them, but they're doing quite well so far.
They are. I just turned on the game and I saw 1-0 Houston, so not a great start. But we'll see. This
shouldn't have said anything.
I know. I should. It's fine. You did this, Brian. You made this happen.
It is my fault. Oh man! All right, Jack. Where can they find you online?
The place to find me is Twitter, and that's @Jack_Tiernan.
All right, go follow him there. You can follow me on Twitter @theFakeBMar. That's BMARR. Channel is of course on Twitter @WickedGoodSport or at WG Everything. Instagram Wicked Good Everything. Twitch at twitch.tv/Wicked Good Everything. TikTok, check out Wicked Good Everything and also Wicked Good Sports. Finally, have that going. Have set up. I'm gonna film another one for TikTok right after this. So, you know, big things happening. Watch this space, as the kids say. Jack, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, man. Thanks, Brian.
And thank you all for listening. We will see you in the next one.